Virtually all of us have had the experience of having our reflexes tested. The doctor lightly taps a tendon with a reflex hammer, which elicits a quick contraction and a mild jump in the body part that's being tested. An example would be the inferior patellar tendon. That's the one where, when tapped, causes that well-known knee-jerk response. Every tendon in the body can be examined in a similar or the same way. A normal response means that there is a healthy nerve supply to the tendon, but an absence of this reflex means something's wrong, maybe even a pathology. Reflex is designed as the power to respond with adequate speed without the intervention of conscious effort. In other words, it's automatic. I remember as a youngster when I discovered this principle that it was really fun for me to check the reflexes on my young brothers and sisters. Now, some reflexes are natural, they're inborn and protective. For instance, the blink reflex, which will protect our vision from an approaching projectile, or the gag reflex, which protects our throat. And there's even one that I like to call the hot stove reflex. That's where we recoil from a hot burner rather than having to wait for the smell of burning tissue to know that something's wrong. Other reflexes are conditioned or programmed by repetition, training, practice, and drill. Pavlov, who was the noted Russian physiologist, found that repeated association, even with an artificial stimulus, caused a reflex to be formed. In working with dogs, he found that if he rang a bell and then supplied food, that it would cause the dogs to salivate. Then after conditioning, he found that he could ring the bell and they would still start to salivate even when food was not supplied. Now, it's a similar thing for our young athletes. They practice daily so that their reactions become automatic, so they can recover a fumble or block a pass without taking time to add up the pros and cons or weigh the consequences. They train their reflexes to act immediately, correctly, automatically. The secret is to go through repetition and drill and practice. Have you ever watched a baby learning to walk? It's laborious, they're unsure, they're unstable. They make a lot of mistakes, in fact, they fall a lot, until they are programmed into a reflex. Now imagine if we had to think about every step we take for our whole life. Now, much of what we do each day is this programmed type of reflex. Activities that we do at work, driving, sports, and even texting. Now, there's also negative reflexes. I read about an elderly man who was in the hospital being treated for emphysema and lung cancer, who literally wore a hole in his chest pocket of his pajamas, reaching for the pack of cigarettes that wasn't there. You see, that's what he had practiced and drilled for years and years, and now it became quite natural, even automatic. Another name for a reflex is a habit, and we can use this process to our advantage, making actions that are beneficial to our health automatic or knee-jerk reflex almost. Like any other reflex or habit, it takes repetition and drill and practice. Now, here's a few of the practices that I think will make for a healthier reflex and a better life. Buckle up that safety belt. Floss daily. Drink water instead of soda. Downsize your portions. Use a smaller plate. Never supersize. Forgive readily. Express gratitude. Smile often. Eat breakfast. Exercise daily. Breathe deeply. Take the stairs. And connect with nature. Now, if over time you develop bad habits or reflexes, those that are unhealthy, you can retrain yourself through the same process of repetition and practice and drill. It's like learning to walk all over again, but it becomes second nature very rapidly, even automatic. So just know that it's no small thing. As John Dryden has said, we first of all make our habits, and then our habits make us.